Good morning, everybody. It is PME Volleyball, and welcome back to another vlog on my VNL 7-week-long trip. We are currently in Antalya, Turkey, as this is destination number 2 of 5 throughout this trip. This week, we will have the opportunity to follow Team USA men's volleyball for the first time. I will say, without a doubt, I'm super excited about this opportunity, and we will be able to start this trip off right, as Team USA is playing Poland tonight in a rematch of the VNL championships from last year. The match is going to be absolutely electric, and I cannot wait. As for today, as you might be able to tell by my bathrobe, I just hopped out of the shower, and my plan for right now is I'm going to make myself a coffee, and then we are going to head down to breakfast to see what options we have to eat for this morning's meal. If you guys have been enjoying the vlogs lately, make sure to leave a like, comment down below who you got tonight, Team USA or Poland, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. I promise you, we're going to have some pretty cool adventures for the next 2 months, and I don't want you to miss out. With all of that out of the way, let's get our coffee made.
And just like that, my brand new adventures in Antalya, Turkey were about to begin. I made my way over to get my morning coffee started as I took one of the espresso capsules and put it in the machine. It was so nice having the option to brew my own cup of coffee every morning with this machine. As my espresso shot was slowly starting to steam into my glass, I took my coffee outside into the balcony to enjoy the view while I sipped. The view that I was able to get from this hotel was absolutely perfect. As you looked in one direction, you would see nothing but grassy terrain for as far as the eye could see, and if I looked directly ahead of me, I could see some more hotels and touristy things that Antalya, Turkey had to offer. And if I looked to the other side of me, that is where you were able to see my favorite amenity of them all, the Mediterranean Sea. I believe that these three things together combined made the perfect view for drinking a morning coffee. After my morning joe, it was time to get dressed. Pretty much everything I packed for this trip consisted of black shorts, white socks, and varied graphic t-shirts. I did bring 2 pairs of emergency sweatshirts and sweatpants, but I quickly realized that most of the places I was going to this summer would be pretty hot, so this type of clothing wouldn't really be needed. I'm not a very big shoe guy, so what I do is I find a pair of shoes that I really like and wear them non-stop until I run them into the ground. Once they are worn beyond belief and you couldn't even tell what they were supposed to be in the beginning when they were new, that is when I know it's time to buy a new pair of shoes. As I made my way into the dining hall, I was absolutely amazed by all of the varieties of food you could have for breakfast. The cafeteria was this beautiful buffet with so many different options. You could go up to these stations that had different types of food, and the workers behind the counter would give you what you wanted. There were so many different options, from more standard American breakfast foods that I was used to, and on top of that, there were plenty of international and local delights. I made myself 2 plates for breakfast this morning, one that had scrambled eggs and pancakes on it, and the other one was full of this super fresh fruit that literally tasted like it was plucked right from the plant it came from that morning. And honestly, I believe it might have been. I slowly assured myself that breakfast would be one of those meals I would look forward to every morning during my time in Antalya, Turkey, and definitely one that would not be worth sleeping in and missing. After breakfast was finished up, I headed outside to explore more of the hotel. What I learned pretty quickly was how nice this hotel actually was. In fact, I feel like it resembled more of a resort than it did an actual hotel. This is because of the things that I saw as I was taking the path that would lead me down to the beach. Not only did I pass by a couple gigantic swimming pools, there was also a full-fledged water park in the middle of the resort. A water park. This absolutely blew my mind. I was not expecting to see this. After a short walk after discovering the water park, I finally made it to the beach side. And man, what an absolutely beautiful location for a hotel. I will say, I'm very fortunate that Volleyball World gave me this opportunity to travel with them this summer, and that the first 2 hotels that they put me up in were right on the ocean side. I don't know if they knew this, but this is the stuff that is right up my alley. And to have the opportunity to jump in the Mediterranean Sea every day once I was done working was a dream come true. After spending a little bit of time next to the water, it was already approaching lunchtime, and headed into the same dining hall that I had breakfast in. They already had all of the lunch foods laid out across the giant cafeteria, and I found the foods that I was interested in and made myself a plate or 2. Now, not only was there a ton of varieties and foods you could eat for every meal, all of the foods that I had eaten up until this point were absolutely delicious. The fruit was super fresh, the vegetables were nice and hearty, the bread was basically baked right in front of you, and I had even found this pasta that was made directly from a cheese wheel and put onto my plate. How cool is that? After enjoying my lunch, this was about the time that all of the travel from the previous 36 hours had finally started to catch up with me. And as I made my way back into my hotel room, I had to deal with the following 2 words that I had a feeling would haunt me for the rest of my trip. Jet lag. It felt like I just got hit by a bus, so I climbed into my bed and took a nap.
Alright guys, so that nap that I decided to take ended up turning into a 5-hour long hibernation fest. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's kind of just what my body needed. We did have a full 36 hours of travel on the last video, and I think that was all starting to catch up with me and one of the reasons why I decided to take a nap in the first place. With all that being said, it is 5:10 p.m. and time to start getting ready to head to the venue for the game tonight. Game is going to be happening at 8 o'clock local time, Team USA in Poland. So I'm going to start getting all my stuff together, and then we are going to head on over to the second stadium where we will be spending the majority of the week. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of the VNL trip. We are in Antalya, Turkey at the Antalya Sports Hall to watch some men's volleyball. Let's take a look at the gym. Week 2 of the VNLs would have me following Team USA men's volleyball. The venue that the matches would be taking place in was known as the Antalya Sports Hall, and it was this giant rectangular room with once again a singular volleyball court inside it. There was a giant jumbotron on the ceiling and plenty of speakers and lights to have the crowd and fans entertained throughout the match. Today's match consisted of Team USA versus Poland, and this was a rematch of last year's VNL championship match, one in which Poland defeated the United States of America. As the players were warming up, I got an opportunity to tour the entire stadium, so I went upstairs into the stands, and this is where I was able to get a feel for what it would be like if I was a fan spectating one of the matches. Up until this point, I had pretty much been courtside filming for all of these matches, so it was a pretty cool experience to see what the match would look like from up above. As per standard match procedure, both teams went through their full warm-ups, which included stretching, dynamic stretching, some peppering, and some split court hitting lines. And never in my life had I seen so many consecutive volleyballs absolutely hammered in hitting lines. Both teams were hitting bounce ball after bounce ball, smashing the 10-foot line and making it look effortless. It just goes to show how high the skill ceiling is in volleyball, and when you get to a certain point, doing your routines like hitting a volleyball might seem easy to you, but to a spectator like me, it was so impressive to see the velocity that was coming off those volleyballs as they were hit. Once all of the pre-match warm-ups were taken care of, it was time for the match to begin, and it would be the first time I got to witness Team USA men's volleyball playing in person. Also, just a little side note, if you want to follow Team USA or whatever other country you're rooting for this VNLs, you can go to vb.tv where every single VNL game will be streamed and available to watch. You can also use the code PME10 to get 10% off your vb.tv subscription. Check out the first link in the description to sign up today. I would highly recommend. So, Micah, the match did just end. Team USA did lose in 3. How are you and the rest of the team going to put this one beside you and focus on the next 3 matches you have this week? I'm just kidding, guys. That's not actually Micah Christensen. That's just his photo. Okay, let's go. As I mentioned before, Team USA did lose this match in a 3-0 sweep by Poland. It was a pretty good game. There were a ton of exciting moments, and I cannot wait to spend the next week in this stadium. It's pretty cool. It's definitely got a different feel than the Brazilian stadium that we were in. It's a little bit newer, I will say, and that Brazilian environment was just crazy. The cool thing about the match today was the amount of fans from Poland, especially. I was told during the match that Poland fans go absolutely crazy for volleyball. Like, they just absolutely love it. It might even be their #1 sport in a country, which is crazy to think about. So they had about a couple hundred fans who actually came down to watch Poland play tonight. And I just thought that was super sweet because we are in Turkey, we're not in Poland, but there was an abundance of Polish fans watching their team. So shout out to Poland for winning, shout out to the Poland fans for being awesome. And we're gonna head back to the hotel now, grab some food, and figure out the rest of my life. Let's go. I'm making a YouTube video. You want to say something?
Hi. Hi. Thank you.
Hi. You're welcome. Guys, it's just a mini bottle of sparkling water. Sparkling water from the mini fridge that is in my room that they restock every day. So once a day, they'll come in here when they do the room service and load you up with some fresh new drinks. Sneakily, that's probably one of my favorite parts of the hotel experience so far in Turkey. So refreshing. Excuse me. Anyways, that concludes our first full day in Antalya, Turkey. There's still so much left to explore around this hotel, and even in the area, there is a specific part of Antalya, Turkey that the last time I was here I visited that I really want to go back to and spend some time in because it's absolutely awesome. If you could all do me a favor and leave a like on this video, that would help me out tremendously as I continue my journey around the world. I can't wait to see what the rest of my time in Turkey brings to me, but in the meantime, it's time to go to bed and start a fresh new day tomorrow. I will catch you guys in the next vlog. PME out.